We're in conclusion of our conference here. We're just doing a roundtable, and within this roundtable presentation, we're talking about presenting to you kind of our mission and then our challenges and aspirations for the coming year. And as I speak here, I have this organized around 4 parts. I'm going to speak to the ongoing initiatives that are going on currently that we have full steam ahead. I'll talk about some developing spectrum initiatives, institute initiatives. We'll talk about upcoming future spectrum initiatives that we as a board have talked about and are in in the process of pushing it forward in the future. And then we're going to spend, I'm going to talk for no more than 15 minutes here. So we'll have about a half an hour of time where we really want to hear from you folks about, so what do you want the spectrum? What do you think the spectrum could do for you? Ideas on that. All right, so that's where I'm going here. Nikos, Robin, Min, Maria, and I will briefly talk about these 4 areas. And as you can see, the foundation now includes 5 board members plus 3 foundation employees. Autumn Rosenkrantz, executive director, where are you? All right. And Alexander Martin. And those 2 are the ones that keep this whole ship running. So thank you very much for you 2. Jim Sack, our general counsel, wasn't able to come with us on this trip this year, but he did in past years. Okay, let me just, before we go to these 4 topics here, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the spectrum, the mission, and so forth. The mission of the Institute is to promote, enhance, and disseminate the spectrum of teaching styles. Our primary goal is to serve as a center for teachers, coaches, teacher educators, scholars, curriculum developers from around the world to study and perfect the art and science of teaching and learning through the spectrum of teaching styles. The formation of the Spectrum Institute, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving education, was Sarah's gift to Spectrum colleagues around the world, old and new. And the funding for the Spectrum Institute was generously provided by Sarah's late husband, Alexander Sandy Lankler, and the Lankler Family Foundation. And we have been able to do a lot so far, and I think there's a lot more to be done still. So thank you very much for Sarah, to Sarah. And I spent the last 10 years of her life, myself and Nikos in particular, and Autumn was present during that period of time, but I spent quite a bit of time with her, meeting with her about what we really want to do, or what she really wanted to do with the foundation to keep the spectrum alive. And she has been a contributor to the spectrum of teaching styles since the late 60s, beginning 70s. So she's an integral part of the spectrum of teaching styles. And I'll just say one more thing. As I watched PowerPoint presentations today and saw posters and heard you speak, at times, and I think you did this without really thinking about it or knowing, but at times you called the spectrum Boston spectrum. And in essence, it really is Mostyn and Ashworth, unless you're referring back to one of the original texts that only Musqueamoston was a part of. So, Sarah, big part, huge part. Okay, let's talk about the ongoing pieces. We started a workshop, the workshop series. This is in its 4th year that we host in this spring, I guess we do. Yeah, in the spring we host a workshop series of which many of you have been presenters and or participant observers. Research grant recipients typically present their research findings as part of these workshop series. Initiative number 2, Spectrum Roundtable conversation last year on September 26th, 2025. We hosted this initiative for the first time. This will be an event to bring together Spectrum colleagues for open conversation, collaboration, Spectrum Institute updates, and we plan to do this on a yearly basis. Ongoing initiative number 3, the Outstanding Institute's Outstanding Journal Publication of the Year. And what I will do with this one is announce this year's award winners. We have 2 categories now. For Research Theoretical Journal Publication of the Year, it was the Simonton, Hanishi, Gray, Espinoza. They received it for their article titled Physical Education Pre-Service Teachers, Perceptions of Learning About the Spectrum of Teaching Styles and its Role in Their Pedagogical Awareness and Practice, an article published in the European Physical Education Review. The award winner for the Applied Practical Journal Publication of the Year was Shatupis for his article titled Applying a Task Progression to the Divergent Discovery Style of Teaching, published in the Journal of Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. So those were this year's recipients. Spectrum Institute Research Grant Award Program. These research grants are open to graduate students, master's and doctoral, and university faculty. They vary in amounts from $5,000 to $25,000, and we award approximately between 4 and 7, we have been annually with this. For those of you who have submitted application packets for this year, 2026, they are still in review at this point in time. We're probably a week or 2 behind given what we're doing here. So it's coming. Be patient. Number 5, Spectrum Institute Mini Grant Award Program for presenting research at international conferences. This particular mini grant program is to help cover travel, accommodations, meal expenses for researchers presenting a spectrum-related paper at an international conference. We award individuals $1,500 for that. So that can be any international conference in which you present a spectrum-specific presentation. Initiative number 6, Mini Grant Award Program for the submission of videotaped Spectrum episodes. Accepted exemplary videotaped episodes of landmark teaching styles are posited in the Spectrum website library online to provide Spectrum users example videotapes of the landmark teaching styles. We've been providing $500 to individuals who develop one of these episodes and it is accepted by us. And we do review it and obviously make sure that it is representative of the landmark style that is being presented in it. Initiative number 7, Spectrum Institute Educational Curriculum, the MOOC, Massive Open Online Courses. These 12 courses are free to individuals interested in learning about the spectrum of teaching styles and faculty interested in using the courses or parts of to supplement their instruction in PEAT courses within their university. The 12 courses are currently produced in English, and I'll say a little bit more about languages when we come to our next parts here. And by the way, as I'm speaking about these initiatives, each one of them has much information on the website. So certainly you can go there to learn more about them. Initiative number 8, Sarah Ashworth Graduate Student Assistantship Scholarship Award. This will be, just ignore that. This will be the second year that we are awarding Sarah Ashworth Graduate Student Scholarships. 3 were granted in 2025, the inaugural year of this initiative. This particular award is for master's level students as well as doctoral level students. If you're a master's student and were to receive one of these awards, it's for 2 years. For a doctoral student, it's for 4 years. We intend to grant 3 to 5 each year. And I think I just said we had 3 this past year. And stand up if you're one of those students, because I know there's a couple here. Megan and Mika. Right there. All right. Thank you. Initiative number 9, International Conference on the Spectrum of Teaching Styles. You're experiencing the first one here. And it's going to be an annual event, and it's going to be hosted right here every year. I just want to see if Nikos see if he was awake still. No. We are, that's one of the initiatives. We haven't decided completely yet, but it probably, this gathering is probably going to occur every, I don't know, 3 to 4 years, something like that. We haven't decided completely yet. And certainly, you know, your input on that would be great too. Number 10. Some of you may know this one because you do things with ISEP. So the Spectrum Institute has agreed to fund this ISEP program designed for doctoral students coming from around the globe, for the next 10 years. This summer school program takes place every 2 years or every second year as part of the ISEP conference, or in this year in Taiwan, the World Congress. The funds provided by the Spectrum Institute support travel, accommodation, and meal costs for the 20 students who are accepted to attend. I know one student here is going to be going to Taiwan, but I don't know if he's here right now. Is he? There he is. There. All right. And we actually are. Another one. Yes. 2. Sorry. Yeah. We will be, as a part of ISEP conference, after the conference, these students get together for about 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and go through a pretty intensive program. And the Spectrum will have a session during that where we are able to talk to these students and inform them of things that are going on with the Spectrum. So And initiative number 11, Spectrum Symposium Session Proposal for ISEP Conferences, World Congresses. The Spectrum Institute, we submit a Spectrum Symposium Session proposal for each ISEP conference. Faculty and graduate students can submit an abstract for a spectrum-related research theoretical presentation to the Spectrum Institute, of which 4 to 5 are selected to be submitted as part of a symposium session proposal. Transportation costs to the ISEP Conference, World Congress, are provided by the Spectrum Institute for each paper's accepted and the presenter going to do that. I know Vanessa is here, going to Taiwan, is one of the presenters, and Kim as well. Good. And those are the 11 initiatives that are going on currently. So let's talk a couple minutes on a couple of the others. These are, we have 4 initiatives that currently we are developing, and they've kind of started and are at different places. I'm in this. First one here is an edited book. The title of the book is going to be Integration of Spectrum Teaching Styles in Contemporary Studies in Physical Education and Sport Pedagogy. The aim of this particular book is to systematically document and critically examine the integration of spectrum styles theory within contemporary scholarship across diverse domains of inquiry in sport pedagogy and PET. Just to provide a couple of examples of domains of inquiry, chapters will be included on some of the models-based practices, student motivation, flourishing theory, social and emotional theory, literacy development, and social justice and equity are just some samples of the chapters, or some samples of the domains of inquiry within some of the chapters. The audience for this particular book we see as for researchers and graduate students. So for a graduate student course, we anticipate 15 to 20 chapters, and we anticipate to publish it sometime in 2027, hopefully. So that's kind of where we see this one. The chapter contributors, experts in the spectrum, and an affiliated domain of inquiry have been invited for this particular piece. We see this as kind of the next step in our curriculum, our educational curriculum that we are designing for the spectrum. We've already done the 12 MOOC courses, and that's really designed for undergraduate level or beginners in understanding the spectrum. Yeah. Initiative number 2, that's in development. We are expanding the mini grant awards for the submission of videotape spectrums. When I say we are expanding, I mean we are now at the point in time where we are asking you to make some video examples of styles beyond the landmark styles. We're looking for styles or episodes where you combine styles, where you may have design variations for styles. Okay, so kind of the first step was to create a library of landmark styles so that folks could really understand the nuances of each style, but now we want to expand that to what I have there. And finally, within that, we also are looking for lessons that are reflective of episodic teaching. Okay. Which in essence is really That's what we'd really love to see. Lessons where we have a series of episodes and they go all over the place. Start with a B, go to A, go to F, go back to D. We can move in all kinds of directions. Developing initiative number 3, translation of the 12 MOOC courses. Currently, the 12 MOOC courses are in English. Soon, almost there, the 12 MOOC courses are going to be online in Spanish. Okay, so that's been a huge piece that Maria has been a part of. And Autumn has been, you know, with us on the board here, has been working with several people who will also be taking these MOOC courses and translating them into another language. So that's kind of on the move. Very similar to this is the translation of the Mostyn and Ashworth textbook. It has obviously, it's in English, obviously, but it has been translated in archaic Greek and Chinese at this point. It has been translated into American English Braille. I don't know, Autumn, do you want to say anything about the Braille copy? Can you say it once more, really loud?
Can I? Oh, okay. Yeah.
They are limited copies. And if you would like one for yourself or your university, you have to reach out to me to let me know, along with an address you would like it mailed to, and it could take a couple weeks to get to you.
We are currently, not we, the board, but actually a bunch of you out there, some are here and some are not, but currently are translating it into French, Greek, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, Russian, done in Spanish, traditional Chinese, and Turkish. Okay, so we are probably within the next, I don't know, probably year or so, year and a half, going to have all of these, or have the book in all of these languages. And there is an audio version of the book too, that's available. Okay. And is that on the site right now, website?
Yes, it's also on YouTube.
Okay. Just the third one here, upcoming future Spectrum initiatives that we are considering right now. The first one I'll talk about of 3 is specifically a graduate student course. And we're thinking about a course specific for master's and doctoral students. It might include a 1-week summer residency somewhere, in addition to doing work outside of that 1 week. Kind of in a sense like the ISF is running the school for the PhD students, in a sense. We are thinking about having specific university partnerships with that. So we're just in the early stages of thinking about what we're going to be doing with this. But that's kind of a next piece within our educational curriculum that we're considering and moving forward with. I'm guessing this is not going to come to life, be ready to go for another 1.5 years, 2 years probably, thereabouts. We are also talking about a large research grant that the Spectrum would sponsor. This would be in the next year or so. We'll be offering a large research grant opportunity to Spectrum researchers. We are thinking in the range of $50,000 to $200,000 in a multi-year proposal, and that will likely include multiple researchers from multiple countries. Okay, but we are kind of just fleshing out the details for this at this point in time. And again, I don't think we're going to have this going for another year anyways. But what are we, 2026? Certainly by 2028, it's going to be there. Maybe even 27. And the third is website, website changes in particular. Over the next year or so, we'll be making changes to the current Spectrum of Teaching website. We're going to either restructure the current Spectrum website to include the Institute or develop a parallel separate website dedicated to the Spectrum Institute for Teaching and Learning. And since I don't do anything with this stuff that we call IT, I have nothing to do with it. Nikos more than anybody, but multiple folks here are doing that. So it's not my business. But anyway, so, you know, we have too much information there right now, and it's becoming very difficult to navigate. So we're trying to do something with that. Your turn. Talk to a neighbor nearby and maybe share something that you've thought about. We can start. Donetta, you go ahead, Donetta.
We've already suggested one, which is somewhere in our resources for us to collectively share documents. The rubrics people have created, the IFIT with systematic observation, our SOUPs. There's at least 4 other versions of SOUPs-like things, and it's crazy that Maria would translate it into Spanish, and then 3 other people are having to translate into Spanish. If those things are readily available for review, the possibility of databases for the forums that are being used by more than one people, so that some very sophisticated analyses could be done instead of some of the basic, well, did they put a graph in? What can I pull from their tiny little graph versus, oh, wow, I have Maria's whole data set, I have our whole data set. That would allow some folks with statistics better than mine to do some really cool things, like the recent paper that Mark, you and 5 other people were on with the meta-analysis and the clustering. It wasn't a meta-analysis, but some things that you really need the raw data for to be able to do.
Yeah, thank you, Donetta, for this. I mean, this is something you mentioned and you proposed, if I remember well, in the first online roundtable we had in September 25, and we took it seriously. I mean, we took seriously all kind of proposals, and we do reject some of them, of course. But that's because we take seriously and we like building everything with great care. But this is important because right now, as you understand, I mean, as Mark presented a few minutes ago, there is a lot of things, a lot of initiatives, and I mean, we started from just one website that included the presentation and the information for the spectrum of teaching styles. But now we already have an educational platform. It's online, and we have ideas how to develop further and how to disseminate further this platform, not only by translating. There are other ideas too, but I'm not gonna say more than that. At the same time, as you can see, little by little, we are building and we are launching new initiatives. And before launching every initiative, we are working very hard with my colleagues here. And the website is something important because at the beginning there was just a menu and the institute and then another sub-menu about the grants. And now if you go there, there are 15 different things and a lot of things happening. So, and another issue is exactly responding to that issue, because and this is, you know, first gathering for so many people, so many colleagues that they are doing work with the spectrum. And it is very important. I mean, you don't know what somebody else is doing, sometimes even in the same country. Somebody has translated the questionnaire, for example, and doing work in Turkey, for example, and someone lives in another city in the same country, doesn't know that. So there are very nice examples, I would say, in the internet. I mean, other theories, for example, like the self-determination theory or self-efficacy by Bandura. I mean, they have, I mean, we will use the best practices and the best ideas we can use in order to bring everything together and also take advantage of the take good advantage of the resources that we have in order to offer the best that we can as an institute.
The database of papers in the website contains too many papers and is very good, but it's a bit difficult to follow. The papers are listed in alphabetical order of the first author. Perhaps they could be categorized in themes so one could more easily find what he or she wants. And also, on the same issue, perhaps I didn't see it, but is there a procedure for someone to upload the paper? Or just send it to, okay. But this is not clear, maybe a note.
Hopefully some of what I'm doing is helping with that. I've been working on setting up a keyword system. So I have to go back through all of the papers and make sure all those keywords are there. So it is kind of categorizing it a little bit better. A manager has to upload them. I do have access to that. So if there's anything, I can make sure that my email is out there. I've already been working with a few other people. Any papers that are missing, you can send to me and I can get uploaded in. If there's any that we don't have copies of, I am trying to at least get the DOIs added and an abstract and link back to those. So hopefully some of what you're experiencing a problem with is being worked on. It is taking me a little bit of time now.
Hi. Maybe a special issue at the journal with some kind of these presentations after the conference or annual, I don't know, but some.
Okay, this is, first of all, I need to say, I don't think I've said it, I mean, I haven't announced it yet, but we already have an ISBN number for the conference proceedings. So within the following month, the proceedings will be ready and will be uploaded. And you will be able to make a reference to the abstract. And also in these proceedings, the abstract will be exactly the same type, the same way you submit it. So there will be the title, the names, the affiliation, the email, if you want to contact with someone, because actually one of the reasons we gathered here was that that one. I mean, finding people that have that we share common interests, and what else? And the special issue. Okay, this is an excellent idea. We will consider this. I mean, I have write it down right now. Yes, Attilio.
Yes, by looking and listening to Mark, it is clear that dissemination is one of the aim of the Institute. And we are talking about dissemination of scientific results, but I think that it could be a good investment to have a clear strategy on how to invest in other dissemination materials. That is not only for research, but for example, for teachers. Translating the book is important, but it is, in my opinion, just a possible part. It is needed, if I can suggest in a very modest, you might, could be needed infographics. It could be needed a different strategy for videos, because we recently had an experience in creating episodes with videos with Andrea, also is sitting here with me. It is so complicated, and it is not by asking people to upload a video that you can have the right series of materials needed. But you need a professional approach with professionals working in this area that are preparing, adapting, and also probably it is not needed today to have videos with real figures. You could use, yes, AI, but other very nice software to create these videos well prepared, well in the right order, that can help teachers, particularly teachers, to learn and to know and to understand what they can do. And by using, for example, subtitles in different languages. Today it is very easy to have this, but I repeat, it is this needs a process to be created, and someone that is in charge of working. It is not simple, but I think this could be a good direction for the next future.
Okay, just a simple comment here, an explanation. All the translations of the book that the Institute is funding will be freely available in our website. And also we are here, I mean, there are people from more than 17 countries, if I'm counting well. And if you are interested in having the book being translated in your language, maybe, I mean, the following year, you can send an email to our executive director, to Otton, and contact with us, and we will see what we can do. And also about video production, yes, I understand that, you know, for the moment, we are okay with whatever is being produced. I mean, in terms of quality, etc. I mean, all the standards of quality are high, of course. We do not accept videos with low quality or being done unprofessionally, if I'm just to put it simple, okay? But thank you for the comment.
I'm a graduate student at University of North Dakota. I discussed with King during the coffee break. We wonder if there's any channel for us as a graduate student to discuss or communicate to keep connect in the future. Thank you.
Okay, so the challenge is how to connect.
Yeah, if there are any channel for us to keep connect to any place we can discuss or.
Okay. I'm keeping that comment way more. And yes. Yeah, of course, we have social media. Alec, by the way, is responsible to handle all the work and the announcements and advertisements through our social media. For example, if you would like to disseminate an information for an event that you would like to organize or a meeting with, let's say, PhD students, we can organize it through the Institute. Also, the Institute has a subscription with a Zoom, and I mean, it's easy to do it. So, Alec, we have a Facebook account, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. What else? OnlyFans? No. Okay. Not that. TikTok? Maybe we should. Okay. Okay. Yes, Mr. Papayan. 1 second. The microphone is coming.
It's about the social media and this communication. What the students say. Maybe consider a listserv with all the emails of the people, so that whenever you have any announcement or anyone wants to ask something, so on goes also through the emails, where for those who want to raise things. It's an old style. Listserv, but I think it still works quite well because social media a lot of times are lost. You cannot follow all the time, but the emails are always around.
Perhaps we can develop our own social media platform. I mean, Trump did it. We can. One more question there. Yes.
Thank you. Just an idea is maybe whenever the next international conferences, maybe can have a teaching demonstration components. Like I would like to see how some of the colleagues, they present their own K-12 teaching. Like they actually use some more unique, not more unique, but more uncommonly used styles. I want to know how they do that exactly. Or my higher education colleagues, I want to know how they effectively teach their student, their teacher educator, future teacher educator, different style, and actually we're able to make them use it. Because my experience is I can show them all the things in the classroom, and then they go out, see their cooperating teachers not using them, and then they don't even try. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your comment. By the way, having workshops in this conference at the beginning was in our minds, but at the end, I mean, we needed to see how many conference presentations we would have and all that, and make decisions over the budget and everything else. So at the end, we decided that we cannot do it right now. Of course, it is important. Perhaps we could devote another time or another conference or one more day. Would you like to stay one more day here? Okay. And organize workshops and also see and exchange ideas of how you are implementing style BC or whatever in your countries, and how am I doing this in my country, and it would be excellent idea, and we are keeping your comment, of course. Okay, one more from Ubona.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Mine is, my suggestion is if we could have a graduate representative in your, maybe closer to you, it would help, such that when maybe decisions are made or anything, you can also have an idea of what graduate students are thinking. I don't know if it makes sense, but I can give an example. In ARA, we have graduate students sitting in forums or where major decisions are being taken, and I think that way it also prepares future leaders of the spectrum. If you have somebody who have been working closely with you or on a yearly basis or 2 years after I rest my case.
Okay, thank you, Hubon. I totally understand your idea. I mean, this is similar with the challenge that Wei Mao explained a bit earlier. I'm keeping notes here. So this is something that we will definitely discuss with my colleagues in our next board meetings. Do we have any other? Okay, one more here.
So my suggestion is try to implement what we are doing at the European level with the Erasmus program, and what we are doing also in FEPSAC, for instance, so the European Federation of Sports Psychology, which is funding traineeship. So it is clear that we need the availability of people that works very hardly on the sector, but it is interesting to give these opportunities mainly to early researchers to have this type of traineeship. So the steps are to have the availability of the people around the world that are available to accept these young people, for instance. So to fund this traineeship that they have. So this could be, it is like a staff exchange in the Erasmus program, for instance. So it is very effective, in my opinion, also to bypass cross-cultural differences. It is something interesting, in my opinion.
Thank you, Maurizio. This is an excellent idea. I mean, in Europe, we have this Erasmus framework where we can fund traineeships from 2 to 12 months. Actually, right now, in my office in my university, we have Zehra coming from Turkey for 2 months, and we collaborate together. Also, she's a volunteer here. I mean, but this is an excellent idea. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, some other countries that don't have something similar like the Erasmus framework. So, for example, if someone would like to go from, I don't know, from Philippines to Taiwan or to Australia, something like this, just to work for 2 months with a professor, it would be a very nice idea. So, yeah.
Can be also sort of secondment.
Yes.
Which you work there, for instance.
Okay.
Could be a traineeship or secondment. So it depends also on the age, probably.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the idea. One more, Arya? Or, okay. You just wave your hand. Okay. Thank you. One more there.
What about in-service teacher training programs?
Sorry, but what do you mean about this?
Like regular PE teachers that aren't aware yet of the spectrum, and right, if going to get together PhDs and graduate students, why not bring together regular PE teachers who yet do not know or know very little about the spectrum, and instead of just like, I think the website is awesome and having tons of information, but again, right, the collegiality, the community, teaching people that are regular PE teachers how the spectrum works and giving them the examples. We could even like create the videos during those maybe sessions, working with them in face-to-face with lesson plans and developing curriculum with them throughout the year, sort of thing.
Okay, thank you. James, if I remember well? Yeah, okay. Thank you, James. So you mean if the Institute would consider developing an initiative where we could fund the development of a PIT curricula that would be focused or very highly include the spectrum of teaching styles? Is that what you mean? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for just regular PE teachers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wrote it down. I was just
and I'd be happy and interested in trying to lead something or create something like that if you want.
And by the way, I really admire your work. I mean, your presentation. Anything else? Okay, it's the known disruptor here, Mr. Papaioannou.
Yeah, I can tell you when you are in the office, because you are next office, but better to tell to everyone here. With regard to what also our colleague said and Mauricio said before, I don't know whether you thought about the kind of a course, a full course that I can provide for teachers, kind of certification or something on teaching styles, which this certification in each country might allow to provide later, so they can act also kind of mentees later to others as well. So they can participate and then they can promote the spectrum styles in their countries as well. So this kind of society.
Mentor certification.
Yeah, mentor certification or ambassador. Yes, but yes, a program like that. Yeah. It's many ideas, of course. It's impossible to do everything, but yeah. But you have already many experts around the globe, so you can provide these online courses for certification, for example, which can be split during the year. It's not necessary to be one full month, for example, but it can be for a period of 1 year. So those who can participate and they can train themselves, they can have this kind of certification, and then they can help to promote further in the future program.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I might need more explanations at office with this idea. And also, I might need, I need to say that Sakis Papaioannou and Maurizio Bertolo, they have long experience with working with international networks in the area of sport psychology, and I had the privilege of following what you are doing there and how you are doing, and it would be nice to take advantage of your experience in how to build further networks and international collaboration. If possible, I would like to be the last comment because I forgot that we have lunch.
No, but because you provoked me, and I'm not involved just with FEPSAC, but I'm involved also in the scientific board of the European College of Sports Science. And one of the efforts that we are doing is to involve and include as much as possible humanities in the European Congress of Sports Science. So, since there are many colleagues here that are involved in the pedagogical field and humanities in general, so please submit abstract to that Congress, because we are pushing a lot, because we want that sports science is not just physiology, medicine, and so on, but there is also a good representative of the humanities. So this is why Spectrum is a good topic to submit and to show that there is also the physical education in the field of sports science. So please.
Okay, thank you, Maurizio, again for this. Now, we just need to conclude. I know that there might be also other ideas or comments. It is very useful, all this type of discussion about the future. And I need to say that I bite the apple 40 years ago, and I still love that kind of fruit, and it's the company I love, So one of the things I love in this company, and we actually follow this kind of approach here with the board of directors, we operate as our function is like a startup business company. meaning that we avoid bureaucracies, we avoid committees, and we make decisions and we devote time by creating hierarchies and making decisions for the most important things that we need to do. And thank you very much all for sharing all these ideas. We are really happy to see Spectrum that is spreading all over the world and showing its potential. I think we are just at the beginning of something, as I said in the welcome address. At any point, I mean, you see numbers here. I mean, I'm not going to talk about numbers, but I need to explain this, but that I have a term about spending money, and I'm calling it mindful spending. So we need to make sure that the gift that was provided by Sarah Ashworth, because we are just volunteers here. I mean, we don't have a salary or something like that. But we make decisions about somebody else's money. And we need to make sure that we spend mindful all these resources that we have. And we really like thinking with the mind in the clouds and our feet on the ground. So we, as you understand, we like building with great care and energy, and I'm really certain that this institute will be one of the stronger foundations and how to say better, the moving factors in the area of education in the years to come. I would like to thank you all the participants of this event. I would like to thank you for taking the plane or the bus or whatever and coming here. You know, I would like to apologize for those of you who saw us missing the schedule, the time schedule, I mean. You know, time is just an invention, and I would like to thank you for the tolerance you provided us. I mean, saving the last day and saving today's day. Also, I think, at least from my point of perspective and from many other colleagues, the quality of presentations was at the highest possible level, I think, and I would like to acknowledge this. I mean, the quality of presentation from the master students, from the PhD students, from the faculty members, everybody. I mean, it was wonderful. And of course, we would like to thank all the volunteers. Please raise your hands or stand up if you are here. Okay. And also some other important people here. I mean, Panos is here, Bill is here, Kostas, the professional photographer, Babis Kromidas, who is gonna be the leader, Yannis Sirbas, where are you, Yannis? Okay, right there. Thanasis Kolovelonis, who is working with the proceedings. And I mean, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, okay? And I would like to thank also the International Olympic Academy for hosting us here. It's not easy to find 2 or 3 days to host an event here, I can tell you that. And yeah, of course, I would like, last but not least, the board of directors, my colleagues here, they all deserve a big applause because they are devoting time for something bigger than us. So, thank you very much. And I said last but not least, so I left last my wife, Vaso. Where are you, Vaso? Yeah. And finally, I would like to memorize Sarah, because we wouldn't be here without her vision. And I don't know how to say thank you to someone who is not here. Anyway. So we will have the proceedings ready in the following month. We have Costas, thanks to Costas, a professional photographer, photographs, being taken all over the place, wherever we are. And very soon you will receive a link where you will be able to download this material. And also we will upload the videos. You know, there is a guy sitting here, he's a professional, it's Leonidas Panagopoulos. And I would like to thank him because it was a wonderful layout, and all the equipment his company offered was so professional. Thank you very much, Leonidas. And all the videos, we were streaming through YouTube, but we will upload the sessions one by one when ready. And finally, you will receive after 2 or 3 days after you go back an evaluation form. It will be a Microsoft Forms form, just to avoid any scam or whatever, in order to provide feedback for the conference, evaluate various aspects of the conference, but also there will be some there will be space in order, if you would like to leave comments for all these, all the ideas you might have. So let's go for lunch.